Are you ready? Are you ready to pot it up?
Let's go. Let's have fun.
Peatcast it. This is the Simply Youth Ministry Podcast with Doug Fields,
I think it's going to be a four-shoulder touch.
Matt McGill,
Nothing says loving like a muffin.
Josh Griffin,
The internet is a hotbed of activity.
and Jana Sardi.
Podcast.
The show starts now.
Sickness is so mental.
Oh, it's you people who are
I'm not worried
mental.
about it. I would totally French kiss you right now.
We should start. We should start. Let's make sure that makes the show. Hey, everybody. our first pre-start.
You're so red right now. You're so
Because
red.
Jan has been secretly fantasizing since junior high.
Thought.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Simply
Hey,
Youth Ministry
everybody.
Podcast. Doug Fields here with Josh Griffin, Matt
Hi.
McGill, and Jana the
Oh,
sick
goodness.
one, Sarti.
You know what?
If you
We
hear
put
someone
her at the
wheezing,
end of the
seriously.
end of the table because we don't want to get sick. But we have a great,
to breathe this
we have a
way.
lot of great questions. We have a lot of stuff going on. We've got a barbecue sauce contest that Nadeem is officially over. It's over. So
We
next,
got a lot more than one, though.
Yeah, we got a bunch
got
downstairs.
That's an example.
But this one
Dozens
just says,
minus a baker's dozen.
when I heard about this was here, like
Here.
it was on the table to
In the
say,
existential sense.
make a comment about the contest. This was from Scott Gunther from Lincoln,
German.
Nebraska. When I heard about the barbecue contest, I had to contribute so Nebraska could represent. We know a
Alright.
few things as good as anyone in the U.S. Here
Yeah.
we know corn and we know barbecue sauce.
That's the problem.
Is there a
as
reason why
good
it's
as
called
anywhere
Fat
else in
Boy?
the United
This
States.
is called Fat Boy
Yeah.
They should be
It has
above.
a health warning on the side of it.
Consumers should be. What
What does it say?
Gosh, you guys, we got a system.
Oh, goodness.
That's right.
iPhone. Just kidding.
Consumers should be aware that frequent use of this sauce may result in the temptation to pig out at the dinner table.
Oh,
So
please.
next week we are going to judge.
You're really gonna die.
Viewer
if you do.
discretion advised.
We are going to judge. But here's one from Sandy Allen from Henderson or Columbus, Ohio, and it's called Hot and Horny Honey Jalapeno.
Hey.
What?
But here's the thing
Speaking
I
of
don't
Matt,
know.
It's got
Is this
spikes.
It just gives a recipe, but do we actually have a
Oh.
sauce for this one?
We actually do. It came in just a regular mug
It came in a mug
With
with cellophane.
with
Just
cellophane.
What? Doesn't
How
need
does
to
it
do
not
with
go
fresh-
bad?
Yes.
I know.
All right, well,
That's how it-
I'll let Matt
I
taste
said
it.
Matt will taste it. Exactly.
All right, so anyway,
put
I
on
thought it was
this.
just a recipe, so I was going to say, Sandy,
It's nice.
you missed the contest, but she got the contest. Hey, before we start, I brought a little surprise. A
Uh-oh.
little surprise that
We got a box.
Josh destroyed the surprise.
Oh,
Did I guess it?
you got it
Did
right?
I guess it?
You suck.
Yeah.
You suck. I
That's
bring
the-
this
Why is that
box
bad for him to
Oh.
guess?
because if he didn't need to go there.
I
He
was
didn't need to
totally
go
But
there.
if
guessing.
you,
He
it
guessed
was a
that
guess.
to our team that's part of our team, which would be
That's
double
why.
redundancy.
Yeah.
I have this box sitting on the table, and Josh goes, "Oh, I bet you it's filled with copies of Doug's new book, Fresh Start, that came out yesterday, each individually signed."
Oh,
And,
it's never too
Wow,
late for a
looks
fresh
good.
start.
Cover. So
That's not really true, because if
designed.
you're burning in hell, it's too late for a fresh start.
Okay, Jana, that's
Thank
for
you very
This
much.
came out yesterday.
awesome.
Who approved that
Wow.
back cover?
Matt,
Oh, did you even write
that one's
anything?
for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
look at that.
They're all-
You
they're all
did.
autographed.
Oh.
Josh, sorry.
Oh,
That's
You don't
bad.
get
All
one.
right, Josh.
yes.
I mean,
This
it's
is sharp.
Didn't it
really
look
looks
good?
good.
it's never too late
Good.
for a fresh start.
Except in hell.
Yeah,
Never
never.
too late.
Never.
You could
that-
take some of this water.
It's
and
kind of
use it
like the
there.
youthministry.com website, which I really like, and it's awesome. And I'm
Yeah.
not just saying that. You know, if I didn't think so, I would say it.
Yeah.
But it says infinite ideas.
That should
Infinite
say
ideas.
finite ideas.
Yeah, there's no way it's infinite ideas. Not even close.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
It
true.
drives me
All right.
crazy.
Well,
Well, that was
Very
you were
cool.
a
Thank
leader,
you.
do something about it. There you go. Just
Thank
came
you,
out
thank
yesterday,
you.
the same day as
Infinite
Dan
ideas.
Brown's
It's
book
not
came
even
out.
possible.
Yeah.
See
how
my
did that-
Twitter?
Yeah.
Dan Brown was number 1 in Amazon.com, and I was number 343,000.
Well, the awesome thing
Yeah.
is that maybe people will buy your book. They're coming to buy Dan Brown, and they'll see
Yeah,
yours.
they'll add
How
it
would
to
they
their
say
site.
How would they?
What would they
It's
say?
not-
This is what you have to
It's
do. People who buy Dan Brown's book need to buy yours, our friends,
And then it'll say, buy them together. Buy Dan Brown and Doug Fields'
There you
new book.
Well, I also
did she
thought
start?
since Josh
Somebody is choking
Josh's
me.
new book
Cool.
came out in the summer, we talked about that.
Yep.
And
Not really, though. We didn't get to talk about it with him here.
You know, you talked about it when I was 9.
but did
that's all right.
you know that we've had several shows since then, and Josh has not.
Brought
He
it
didn't
up.
bring us a book.
He hasn't brought a book, so I brought Josh's book.
Pamphlet?
And I signed it to the pod team. Thanks for all your insight that inspired this book. So this is to the 3 of us.
Awesome. Now, how much of this is reprints from your blog
Oh,
posts?
that's some of it. Some of it.
Some of it?
It's
There's
good.
nothing wrong. Is that
Yeah.
bad to
No,
say?
no,
I think
it's
that's
not
great.
bad. But here's what I also
That's
did.
funny. I
Here's what I
just
also
used
did.
this font in something.
Here's the surprise that Josh couldn't figure out.
Yes.
I went on Amazon.com to see if it was on there, and I found this other book called 99 Practical Ideas for Youth Workers, Parents, and Volunteers, Youth Work. And so I bought this.
Oh, it's way better than mine.
Well, I don't know. It's a little bit bigger.
The ideas are a little
Oh.
bit bigger.
I don't
'cause
know if it's as good. I'd
this-
rather.
well,
here's-
these are
99
9
practical ideas. Those are just thoughts.
Yeah, these are thoughts. These are ideas. And so
Ah.
a thought can be half-baked, unbaked.
and a stolen title.
Yeah, stolen title.
Yeah.
Josh
Oh, that's
stole
what
the
you're
title
Thank you for
from-
letting me steal.
From
who
Don
did I steal it
Pearson and Paul Sandhouse. This is, we're going to give them, this is a Moody. Oh, so you know
Oh,
it's
boy.
theologically strong.
Yeah,
Is that what they
stronger
have
than
in
my
Moody?
Thoughts for sure.
99.
They have theology
99
over at the
thoughts.
Moody.
Oh,
Let's see,
wow.
now that Josh makes
What's
fun
it
of me.
this? Let me see.
I'm so thankful for this book, Fresh Start by Doug Fields, ranked
I just wanna see what
223,000.
Available on
guys.
Amazon, yeah.
343,000.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm on a book cover, I don't think I'm wearing a sweatshirt. I mean,
Well, that's why, you know what I said?
Whatever. If
You know
out
what
of the 4 of us, if you're on a book cover,
I'm just
you're
saying,
wearing a
even
sweatshirt.
true,
That's
but
true.
even I wouldn't wear a sweatshirt.
You have so many opinions on headshots. You're
Today?
talking about
Are you
Twitter
trying to set me
headshots,
up? 'Cause
Facebook
that's-
headshots.
all I know-
I think that they're
Facebook.
great.
Is I would much rather read this
Thank you,
than
Doug.
this. I just thought this would be a fun
My
book.
dad would call this a one-seater. Oh, sitter. Dang it.
I would much rather read this than of just about any book
All
in
right.
the world.
That one?
Yep. Only one book I can think of that I'd rather be reading.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes.
99 Thoughts for Youth. No, the Bible.
.com. Available at more than dodgeball.
Morethandodgeball.com. This looks great. Thank you very much. And all seriously, Fresh Start. I can't wait. It's going to be awesome.
Cool. Well, I actually think in the acknowledgments,
Oh,
in the
watch it.
acknowledgments, I put Janet and Matt in here, Josh, because no offense to
Really?
you, I love you. You're one of my favorite people in the whole world,
That-
and of anybody on the table, I'd rather be with you.
Acknowledges is in the back.
Yeah, I don't know why, but here's the deal.
Acknowledgement.
Matt and Jana,
Matt McGill.
Way to go, man.
because thank you too for reading every word and helping me with the questions in the back of the book
Oh.
and other sweet things.
I didn't
You
help
said
you at
2
all.
anchors. You're 2 anchors in life, Matt and Jana.
I didn't say.
Yeah.
I said your 2 anchors in life.
Holden from Fuddruckers.
I
They're
know.
two of
so
my
great.
anchors and bookends.
Yeah.
And you always call me fat, right?
You're an
So
anchor and a bookend.
are you calling Jana fat?
Can we
You're
say what we talked
Oh.
about last week, Jenna? After the show?
No.
No.
Okay. Because it would hurt Matt's feelings, don't you think? We talk about it maybe next.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we
All
don't
right.
want to hurt my feelings.
Let's put the book down and get going. We got
I'm
lots
ready
going
to
on.
go.
Hey,
I
speaking
just-
of which, can I make fun of you just a little bit?
Of course.
Did you retweet an affirmation about yourself today?
I sure hope not.
Oh, I think you did. You got a new blog, and somebody twittered about
Oh.
how the new blog is good, and you retweeted it.
I did.
He
see.
answered the question and retweeted, I think.
Oh, I hope not.
I
No,
have,
I
I
didn't.
have some initials to
I
call
am.
you.
I am
Here
totally.
They are.
I am totally. No.
Here they are.
No. Well, it's like you even need to write them down. Good job, buddy. No. I read it again. No one else has tweeted about
Okay,
it.
I
I
thought
think
it.
you answered a question.
That's okay. I thought it was a retweet.
What
of an
was it? What
affirmation.
did it actually
That's
say?
okay.
This is
Did
what
you think
a
it was?
little bit self-serving, but here's the deal. I'm always self-serving, so don't worry about it.
No. I'm
Well, he doesn't want to be like you.
Oh, shoot.
no.
Fresh
He
Start
I'm
wants
by
actually.
Doug Fields.
like-
Can you pull out
he
your
wants to
phone
be
and let's see the Twitter?
No,
No,
it's
let's
way
deal
over
with it
there.
later.
Oh.
Let's deal with it later.
Here's the deal.
Come on, let's
No,
see
this
if you
He's a
can.
little bit
no,
flustered
Now
right
we
now.
focus. We got our team
right.
here.
Content,
No
here we go.
way.
We've already started the show by
Self-promotion.
talking about French kissing Jana, which you are actually. What was the first thing I said to you when I saw you
I
today?
look nice today.
Nice gel.
Yeah, he's got hair gel in.
Trim up
he's-
that beard.
Oh man.
He's got a nice shirt
Nadine, will
on.
you pull up my Twitter
No,
feed?
No.
See,
Not
he's
during the show, it's
distracted.
not.
Come on, you are distracted.
I think
Be
you look
mentally
really
tough.
sharp.
No,
today.
I just need to know exactly what I just need to know.
Okay, but in 40 minutes you can
Yeah.
find that out.
Yeah,
Okay,
let's-
well, I'm gonna be off my game then.
That's
Show's
okay.
gonna suck.
Yep, you're always carrying it, but I guess this will have to be the one-off one.
All right, here we go. Hey, by the way,
Truthfully, did it
SYM.
seem self-promoting? I know I'm not
Oh,
going to get a
goodness
serious
me.
answer out of him. Yes, just a little bit. Okay.
And we know that's not
I
your
don't
heart.
even know any.
And we make
That's
fun of
why it's funny, though.
I was trying to answer that guy saying thanks.
But you retweet the compliment, too.
No, I was trying to direct message him. Oh, suck.
Well,
I'm
there
still
you go.
embarrassed. I'm going to get red right now.
Yeah.
It's starting. He goes,
Oh my goodness.
Okay, let's get focused.
why
Can we
did you
focus?
bring that
Can we
up?
focus?
Oh,
Because it's the podcast. This is where we bring up stuff like that.
I am so embarrassed
All
right
right.
now.
This is from Brandon.
Oh, frick.
Okay.
I'm
now
ready.
you're being even more selfish, focusing about
No,
you and not
no,
our team. It's
I'm-
like you're
I'm
like
just
retweeting
expressing-
you're retweeting your
I'm
emotions
expressing
right
tweet
my
for Matt right
remorse.
now. Tweet for Matt. Where's his phone?
Oh,
Brandon Montgomery.
gosh.
Brandon Montgomery.
That's embarrassing.
Hi, Brandon.
We just hired a
got
new
double
singles
marked.
pastor that has 2 kids that'll be in our program. One of the students is turning 17, going into her junior year of high school. The other's turning 13, going into 8th grade. They're moving from Covina to Tyler, Texas, which I'm sure will be a tough transition. Any ways to make that smooth? How do we make them feel welcomed and appreciated? So Josh, what would you do, right?
I would put that kid, handpick that kid, and put him in the very best small group we have. The most incredible leader, the best knit group, and give them their best chance of getting connected.
So I'm a parent in the youth ministry, and I hear about that, and I go, how come that kid gets special
Because that
privileges?
kid is a pastor's kid, and that's why.
There you
Now,
go.
honestly, we did that. We had a pastor come on staff a couple years ago. His son left a high school in wherever it was to come all the way to California. We put him with one of our best leaders, and he graduated last year, really connected.
Yep.
He made it.
Yeah.
And so I would
Yeah,
say,
he's a good kid.
selfishly,
Yeah,
But we
because
also
that
try and-
pastor's on your team.
Yeah.
You're doing life with him.
Absolutely. No, it's
Ministry's
different.
tough and families.
We try and encourage our student leaders to go after those kind of people too, and just
Absolutely.
be friends with them
Yeah.
and invite them, be invitational the first couple of
but
weeks. And
there's no doubt a kid in transition in high school is going to be on the edge, period. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to save everybody. They're not
Yeah,
going to
that's
get
a
connected.
tough
And
move.
any parent that came, you would respond to that parent with pretty much the same
I would say
thing.
very similarly. If
Very
you just moved
similar.
here and the kid's 17, they're coming to their senior year, we would bend over backwards for them.
Absolutely.
You
In this
gotta have a
case,
plan.
With a pastor on staff, no doubt about it.
Yep.
Drop
Yeah.
everything. Make it
Now,
happen.
if the singles pastor tweeted you an affirmation, would you retweet it?
I would not.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
whatever
that's
your
just
plan
me.
is, make
would you
sure.
put it on your blog though?
Maybe
more
so.
than dodgeball.com.
Maybe I would mark it favorite because I like to mark favorite, but I don't know.
Would
Now, can people see
you-
your favorites?
Yes, I didn't realize that. I love favoriting tweets, but no one really does that.
Because I saw
you
a
can see
tweet
other
on my
people's
phone
things.
that I wanted to look up the link, but it wouldn't go on my phone, so I favorited it, even though it wasn't my favorite thing. I just want to know what they were talking
Yeah.
about. But people can see what you favorite.
So if I go to your Twitter page, twitter.com/MattMcGill, click favorites, I see the ones that you have starred.
That's
I've
funny.
starred
Oh,
3 or
interesting.
4 years on
Oh.
Twitter.
Voyeur.
Voyeur, that's what it is.
That's
Um,
right. Oh,
hey,
my
Brandon.
affirmation tweeter.
Brandon, you're
Evangel tweet.
Let's see if you can go the whole time without, even
No,
until we
why?
heckle you.
You brought it up. This is the price. I'm going to make sure you know the price.
This is the price of your self-centeredness?
Yes, this is the price of you bringing it up at an inappropriate
So I'm
time.
commenting on self-centeredness, and then
I'm
we're
displaying
experiencing it. Yeah.
Yes.
Brandon also said, my wife and I went to the Simply Youth Ministry Conference for the first time and loved it. We'll be back next year. We're going to bring our team with us.
Awesome.
Brandon, my encouragement to you is you sign up quick because
Yes.
we only have room for like 2,500 people, and we're already over 500, several months months
It's going to be
away.
so much fun. We just had a planning meeting for it.
And I think
Can't
at
wait.
this point last year we were at
Oh,
10 people.
Yeah. The 4 of us were signed up.
This is from
I didn't sign up.
Nucomus. His name is Nucomus.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, he even pronunciated it for me, which was very nice.
wow.
Nucomus.
Phonetic is
German?
what we call that.
All right. St. Louis, Missouri. He says, our ministry has a great relationship with the youth ministry down the street. We love them.
Yay.
They love us. We Twitter about each other. We both emphasize that the church is bigger than our local congregation.
Great.
Recently,
And he demonstrated that emphasizing by bolding it.
Yeah.
That was good.
yeah, I'm glad you're sitting next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, the other church moved their programming to a different night of the week, which naturally means many of our students will be cross-pollinating. That doesn't bother me, except for the fact that their leadership has now asked some of our student leaders into leadership positions at their church,
Yeah.
specifically playing and leading in the band on a regular scheduled basis. Obviously, a conversation needs to happen between the two leaderships. I feel like they're picking the fruit from our mentoring efforts, But my question is, am I being divisive or selfish to not want our leaders leading in their community, especially since we've emphasized that the church is bigger than our local church?
Sounds no different than a parachurch organization.
Well, I think you move your program
Josh,
to
you
the
tried
same
hard not
night
to laugh at
and you
that.
make
That was
them
good.
choose. You battle it out.
No.
No.
It's
You
served.
start a church fight.
A church fight.
You take this head on. Do not rest until
Well,
you
do
have
those-
split these churches.
I think it's worth to have a conversation. That's for sure. But you don't want to promote your book anymore.
No, that's fine.
But
We
you
could,
can
we
tweet
could
about
move it up on Amazon. Come on.
If you send me a nice Twitter about it.
You're not going to retweet it.
I'm going to Twitter in a little while about Matt, and
Yeah.
I'll ask, hey, you going to retweet this?
Yeah. Oh God, it just got that. Oh man.
Awesome pastor, such a loving guy. Please retweet.
No need to retweet this one. Oh, Jiminy.
no, what do you do? This is
Jiminy.
good. Competition a little bit now.
Okay,
They're
we
competing.
need to pause and bring our team in too, because we don't like to have inside jokes. And this one can stand on its own, but we have a friend who, when he gets an affirmation,
Yeah.
he retweets it. And we just have talked
It's
about
like
it.
you can't blog too much about your own books. You can't talk about yourself. It's just good rule of thumb.
You can't.
Well, how many times have you blogged about Fresh Start? You can blog
I don't
about Fresh
blog.
Start.
I microblog.
Well, you could microblog. I'm going to say 5 times
Wow, that's a lot.
before it gets weird. 7 maybe.
No, I was saying that's what I've done.
Okay.
It must already be weird.
No, so like 99 Thoughts, I can't blog. I can't Twitter about that anymore. It's done. It's over.
Yeah.
I got to let it just stand on its own now.
Yeah.
It's a great book. I might.
Good job. Thank you.
Or let your friends
I
talk
can't
about
Or let your
believe
friends
that.
talk about it, and hopefully the word of mouth will be good on
it.
it.
Well,
Anyway.
If there's no opportunity for those guys to be serving at your church in that way, then why not let them serve at another church? I mean, if they're not truly taking away from your ministry, then I wouldn't sweat it out. But if they're not playing for you because they are playing for them, I still wouldn't necessarily. You got to have a conversation no matter what. So I'm not saying you don't talk, but I would want to know why. Why are they playing over there? And maybe it's not a bad reason. I mean, maybe they like it for some. You know, I mean. So that's.
But
all
are
I
you
got.
saying the conversation happens between the youth pastor and the student, or
No,
the
two
two youth
youth
pastors? That's what I was
pastors.
thinking.
Two youth pastors.
Well, I
yeah.
think I would have a conversation with a student too if he's one of my student leaders.
Mhm.
You know, I'm saying, hey, help me understand this decision, just to get at, to help the kid make good decisions,
Yeah.
and also to help him understand that what it means for us to be in community with other churches, but also what it means to be committed to the church. And he says a conversation needs to happen between the two leaderships, and that's definitely obvious.
yeah,
But I would
good
also have a
point.
conversation with the teenagers as well. Matt made the comment about the parachurch because we have had, over the years, we've had Young Life and Fellowship of Christian Athletes and, you know, all these other parachurch ministries that we're excited about and we want to support them.
Totally.
And we even send our kids, you know, church kids to them, then they wind up leaving and being
Yeah,
plugged in there.
or
and there's-
critical.
and there's some hurt to that, obviously, but you know, at the end of the day, is you know, maybe
And
it is a
that's-
good thing that the kid's serving that.
Yeah, and my comment too was not all parachurch and not all the time. I mean, it just happened a couple
Sure.
different times. and-
Yeah.
Do you think there's any value in asking where the parents go in all of this too? And is there value in the home being at the same church, like the mom and dad, if they go to this church and da da da? Or
Well,
is that just
think about
I
any
don't
kid
think
in
so.
a youth ministry who's plugged in. I mean, is one of your student leaders and
Totally.
plugged into the high school ministry. I mean, unless he's not doing anything else, he really doesn't have much life left to give to another
Right.
youth ministry.
Right.
So, I think you serve the family and that kid by sitting down and saying, you know, aren't you spreading yourself a little thin, and
Yeah.
get to the motives behind it. And I would expand the conversation
Yeah.
rather than just. But if you harbor that bitterness towards
Yep.
that other youth ministry, you're not going to have that.
that's going to hurt?
Yeah.
Same.
that
same
unity.
deal.
Yep, very true.
Yeah.
Cool.
Hey,
Oh, ladies and
Cathy.
gentlemen, Cathy
Hey.
Fields has entered the building. Da, 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 da.
Speaking
Oh, we
of
have a
French
backdrop.
kisses,
Dun, 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 dun.
Are you on right now?
Yeah, we're recording
You are.
the show.
You're
Come on
on
in.
too.
Well, let me fix this. This is
Thank
Nadine.
you.
Come on.
Matt,
Seriously.
dude.
Going for the garage book.
Yeah. Hi, babe.
Oh, sorry.
Hi, babe.
Kath had I got my hair cut today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Kathy had a dentist appointment.
2 hours.
And
Let's
I was
talk
going to
about
say
that.
we were gonna meet for lunch at home. Some people call that a nooner.
What
Oh,
in
goodness.
the world did you just say?
I have sandwiches.
Yeah, that's what I meant. We were just going to eat at noon.
Yeah.
She brought sandwiches. So anyway, babe, do
That's-
you want to leave the
that's one of
sandwich?
my
Because we
more
got
funny
to,
things.
Matt's already destroyed the show.
Yeah,
gotta-
we could eat
gotta
at this
keep
point.
going.
I have
Or
not
do you want to pull
destroyed
up
the
a chair?
sandwich.
Wait,
How have
How
I
long
destroyed
have
the
you been in
sandwich?
how are your teeth? Is everything okay? 2 hours?
Yeah, bad news.
It's too long.
I've had a bad news day.
Do you want to pull up a chair, babe?
Tell us about your bad news.
Well, I have to get 3 crowns.
3 crowns.
And
Crowns
and
aren't
then
so
did
bad.
you talk about my small group thing? I thought that was
No,
the
no.
This one's
Oh,
for-
sorry.
Sweetie,
Oh, I thought you were
do you want to pull up a chair?
Do I have a chair? I have a few minutes. How long are you?
Great.
you guys
We have like
You-
15.
Yeah. Okay, let's
Sure.
let's
What are you guys
dive
talking
in.
about
What's
today?
your small group deal?
I'll tell you.
I'll do a lead to that. I want to get to some more of our questions. This is from Chris Rollman. Chris, let me answer this just to you because I don't think
Okay,
this
they
is
can't read
this
the
is
notes.
appropriate for everybody because he wants to
the wrong
basically
person to
write a
tell.
book on the stages of faith, and he's got 2 kids at home. And here's what I would say: develop the tool within your own family. Use it in your own family, then use it in your church, and then write about it. Make your writing of it after the great thing about working in the church, you have a laboratory. So I would say develop it in your own family first, model it in the church, get other parents involved, and then write about it.
There you go.
Yep.
And
And if it doesn't have a flashy cover, it won't sell.
That's right.
Speaking of plastic covers.
Yep.
It says, podcast crew, welcome back to the regular rotation. This person doesn't want his name read. He said,
How do you know it
Matt,
wasn't her?
Matt mentioned a whole "Where Are You Now" bit back in episode 110. Back in episode
way
110.
back in episode 110.
Because this is 111, episode 111, sympodcast@gmail.com if you'd like to send in your questions. I'm still waiting. So where am I? I'm still waiting for Doug to reply to an email of mine that he read back in episode 105. I asked him not to read my name, and he accidentally did. And as he was reading the email, Josh pointed out, "Do not read my name." I must say the reaction to the whole bit was hilarious, although it wasn't a bit.
No,
Yeah,
not a bit.
bit.
It just happened.
Well, small
Yeah, he
things
put
have.
bid in quotes too.
I know. Jen, will you switch back? I think I would.
I got you to chuckle on that, and you're going to criticize me?
I think I would rather catch your cold than have Matt
How
sit
c-
in.
you
That would be
chuckled.
sick.
You chuckled, and you criticized me on that.
Well, that.
It was a good bit on bit.
Oh man, it was a good bit.
However, since the email, things in the church leadership have caused me to look around and say, is every church like this? I know every church isn't like this, and while I'm not at all discouraged with youth ministry, I am getting discouraged by the location of the ministry I'm serving. I'm still working on my theological education, so I'm afraid that my resume sucks. I'm afraid to look anywhere else for fear of being declined. I know I have to leave, but don't know what to do. Please pray for me as I walk through this tough time. The positive to all of this is I know I'm not alone, and many have gotten beat up by churches and have come out okay. Thankful to be in the club. Yeah, you are in that club. Well, not every church is like that, but many are.
Mhm.
Yeah, many are, and that's one of the things that we talk about a lot, not only on podcasts but off podcasts, is how can we help churches not destroy youth workers, or how do we lift up the value of youth ministry so that youth workers are not treated poorly. But yeah, ministry is hard, leadership is hard, church combining those is difficult. It's political, it's backbiting, people are looking out for their own good. You got any blog posts on that lately?
Not lately. Nope. I have some.
Yeah. So
From the
anyway,
past.
to this friend of ours whose name you would
I've
recognize.
experienced it
Um,
lately.
Yeah. Life in church is tough. Finish your education, hang in there, and when you get your education, you're going to have a little bit of a Visa card to go and maybe have some different doors open for you. But every church you go to, the grass always looks greener on the other side.
When you say Visa, I just need to clear up.
Yeah.
Credit card or travel?
Either.
Okay.
It could work
I'm
in
on the
both.
move.
Yeah, it could work in both.
I too wonder what God's going to do during those hard times. Like I think sometimes the things that make us want to quit youth ministry or things that hurt us so deeply are good for us, and they make us into the men and women that God wants us to be. So part of it is embrace the ugliness that you're seeing and learn from it, and maybe it's learn what not to do.
And have friends
absolutely.
that cause mental pain.
And
Exactly.
and know that this is not going to be the last church you work at.
Exactly.
And
Don't let it be
and
the
honestly,
last
it's not
church.
going to be the best church you work at either.
Right.
So that there's a little bit of
Best
hope
days
for
are
you.
always ahead.
Thank you.
Till you die.
Thank you.
Then they're
I was
behind
going to
you.
say Amelia Earhart, but that's not who I want to say thank you to. Who's the lady, Dear Abby?
Dear Abby.
Dear
Yeah.
Abby.
Best
Pithy
days are ahead.
quotes.
Yeah.
Her best
Wisdom.
days. Is
And
that,
my mind went to Amelia Earhart.
Yeah.
Who was she? The flight person?
Yeah. She mysteriously
Invented
lost over
planes?
the Atlantic.
Yeah, she invented planes.
Yeah.
Invented planes.
This is another person who says,
woman on the moon.
this is interesting. This person says, don't use my name. 25-year-old youth pastor, been working full-time at the same church for 4.5 years, married with 2 kids. Church council meeting, got reamed out the other night. This is a little odd because it says, now the senior pastor's wife has been pursuing me. And when I first read that, I thought, oh, like she's after him, like she doesn't like him. But it sounds like she does like him. Always asking me if I can meet with her and go out to lunch with her. I probably know it's best to get out of here, but I have a family to take care of by myself, and I feel like there's no one to go. Please help me out. What would you do? What advice could you give? You know, and as I read this, I thought about, you know, this is one of those examples of a Band-Aid on a hemorrhage. You know, that the podcast, we can sometimes we're given Band-Aids on when you know you got a hemorrhage. We can't give you a Band-Aid on that. But I wrote down JB right there, because in a situation like that, what I would do if it was in my church, I would go to, you know, somebody who's outside of my church. JB is
John Baker.
is my youth pastor, Jim Burns, who's now on
Who's
Twitter.
now on Twitter.
At
Follow him.
Follow
Dr.
him.
Jim Burns.
Dr.
Yeah.
Jim Burns.
He just sent me. I haven't even told you this because it just happened, you know, about an hour ago.
Keep so many things.
He's
I know, secrets.
he's Twittering. You can tell Jim's just trying it out. He's Twittering like, you know, do you even read replies? You know, this kind of thing. He's following Azusa and me, and so I follow him, and then I retweet to everybody. I said, "This is my youth pastor, hero, mentor, friend," and like in 15 minutes, he had 100 followers. So you know he's at a lunch meeting, getting overwhelmed with.
Oh,
His phone's
gosh.
lighting
Yeah,
up. That's awesome.
But what I would do in a situation like this, I would go meet with Jim and say, because this is something you can't get an answer over a podcast and go, okay, that's what I'm going to do. Because
Well, what did they get reamed
We don't know
over?
I don't know what they got reamed over.
It's kind of hard to give advice.
Well, but it's also this is one. What I was thinking, how do we serve everybody out there on our team?
Right.
This is one. When you're in a situation like this, you don't write an email for
Yeah.
help. You go find somebody who's away from your church,
Right.
who loves you, who's not vested in the church, who loves
Yeah.
you more than the church, that particular church, and can guide you and care for you and coach you and help you through that. Because that's big. I mean, hey, being yelled at by the church treasurer, you know, that
Yeah.
happens
Yeah.
to
That's-
all of
I'd
us.
say send a follow-up email so we can get some specifics.
Yeah. Senior pastor's wife pursuing you.
Yeah, wouldn't you say though? I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
but
like,
what does that
run.
mean? I mean, maybe.
Right.
I mean, maybe she just wants to talk
I
and
thought
say.
the same thing. That's why it feels like it was general enough that it's
Yeah.
probably deep to this guy. I mean, 25, married, 2 kids, you know, hey babe, you know, senior pastor wants me, or wife wants me.
Yeah, I don't know that that's where he's going at.
Well, he pursue. It's hard not to read into that. Pursuing me, always asking me if I
I
can
don't
meet with
know.
her or go out to lunch with me.
Yeah.
Putting me in awkward situations, both at church and with my wife. I don't know.
Oh,
Oh,
you didn't
gosh.
read that.
Well, I did read it. I just didn't read it.
Oh yeah, never mind.
Run.
That's funny. Those 2 words
Yeah,
Totally.
changes the
Your
whole
wife's-
thing.
Your wife's got to be in the
Are you
loop
with me on this one?
and run.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
that? Oh, that's great.
He didn't say that before.
Can you
I
hear
need
Cathy
you
okay?
around so
Lot of
much.
secrets.
Oh,
Talk loud.
Can we just all hang out together? That would be great.
Matt needs me to help
I-
interpret for the 2 of
Well, what I was trying to do is I was trying to say to the guy, go get a Jim Burns. I wasn't trying to
No,
say,
that's
let's
good.
solve this guy's problem. 'Cause
Right,
think
and I
it's
just was
too big.
confused, but the word awkward makes it so much more clear.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was clear in my mind, and the fact that you couldn't read it.
Yeah,
I
it
know.
bothers me.
Weird
Which
like
is,
that. How did-
which we're
Yeah.
switching, because usually I make that mistake and you don't.
This
so.
from Jeff Hawkins. He's the youth pastor, First Baptist
What up,
Church
Jeff?
in Chehalis, Washington. He says, we're coming off a busy and fantastic summer in youth
Nice.
ministry. In
Awesome.
doing my end of summer evaluation, one question I have is about charging fees for volunteers. We did several
Ooh.
trips this summer, which cost money to spend on. Some of these are big tickets. and cost the ministry a big chunk of money to cover our volunteers. I don't feel right necessarily asking our volunteers to take vacation time and charging them to come while expecting them to supervise rowdy junior high boys. How do you handle these fees with your volunteer staff? Is it asking them to give up too much to pay their own way? Give me some ideas, options, what to do in the future. I love that you're asking that question too.
Totally.
Yeah.
I wonder what most people do. What do most ministries do? Charge their volunteers for stuff?
Well, we used to, in Michigan, when I was youth pastor there, we would charge $1 or $2 more for a kid to go to an event, and then
Right.
that would help
Sure,
offset
sure.
the 1-to-10 ratio or whatever of volunteers. I would say it's worth every penny. Worth every penny.
For the
What
volunteers
are you
to
saying,
for the
though?
volunteers to go for
the,
free.
For the volunteers to go for free, for the ministry to honor them and honor the vacation time. It can't always be that way. There's certain trips that are just so expensive that you can offset it or help or try.
Yeah.
And some volunteers, this is interesting, we've made it an option. Like if you, we did a service project and it cost $20, and we say, volunteers, you're good, you don't worry. And some want to pay.
Yeah.
So we, we would take that
The
money
Christians.
and apply it to the budget, but we would do our best to serve them as well by giving them.
Even making it known like that you have scholarship needs or something
Yeah.
like that, then sometimes volunteers who are in the position to give financially could,
Yeah.
If it's possible, it's money well spent. It isn't always possible.
Yeah,
but-
well, I think that if you start with that as your philosophy, so start there and say, here's what we want to do. We want to
Yeah.
honor volunteers, and we don't want you to have to pay for these events. We, when you take vacation, you're already paying enough, and
Yeah.
there may be times, gang, where either we can't have you go because it's costing the church too much, but we're going to try to pay for everything
Yeah.
we can. If some of you have ideas of ways that we can fundraise just for the volunteers, because if you do a
Have the
camp,
volunteers do a car wash.
yeah. If you do a camp and all of a sudden you're sticking kids with $40 more on top of, to pay for your volunteers, that's a hit too.
No,
so,
that's a big
But I
deal.
think if you have a standard philosophy that says, to the best of our ability, we're going to care for our volunteers and pay for them so it doesn't have to come out of their pocket, we're going to do that. And, you may have to make some exceptions. But you're right. I mean, that's what we've always done.
Yeah.
But I don't know what everybody does. But that's a great question, Jeff. And you know what I loved about this when I first read it? I'm doing my end of the summer evaluation. I
Then
just
spend the
love
time to
that,
evaluate.
because typically we race from the summer right into the fall, and we don't
Totally.
even take time to evaluate. So
Totally.
well done, good job, way to go. Kathy this morning gets a text from one of the girls in her small group. So she goes to high school small group training last night, which Josh, you said you did an excellent job.
Thank you.
Excellent
Very
job, Josh.
Yeah.
It was fun. We try to make it a lot more fun this year too.
It was fun.
Oh,
Yeah.
It
good.
was fun.
And we were talking about it
Cool,
last
dude.
night, and she texts her small group, just say, hey, excited about stuff. Well, one of the girls in her small group texts her back and says, I don't think I'm going to be in your,
I might be in a different small
I might be in a
Oh,
different
wow.
small
Oh man.
So,
Yeah.
Somebody's getting
A
old.
different small group.
Different small.
Yeah.
So not leaving, moving away,
No.
changing
Not, I
groups.
don't love Jesus anymore.
Younger,
not going to another
hipper.
church down the road.
Not going to another church down the road.
yeah.
No
I
way.
think I'm going to change small groups.
Oh no.
So
Who was
Kathy,
it?
Kathy, no.
I'll tell you.
yeah,
Did you read
can.
into it?
Let me talk to that
What is
person.
it? Is it
Well,
me? What did I do?
Here's
Did I
what's
offend?
funny.
Did I hurt?
is
Let me
that
talk
would
to
be-
that girl.
That would be the type of thing that I would
I'll
read
talk to
into,
her.
and Kathy would normally, hey, go to another small group, doofus. But
No.
she's been with these girls. They're in our house all the time, and then her mind started going like, maybe it's me.
Whose group are they going to?
Oh goodness.
We don't know any of the
So,
details. That's
do you
all.
know?
No.
We know nothing.
I want to start naming some names just to be funny.
Interesting.
Are you doing a small group?
No.
Okay, because
They
you're not.
are the great girls.
Okay, because
Wait a minute. This is getting
No,
crazy.
here's what happened last night. Let me take you right into the Fields home last night. Kathy comes home from training, 9th grade daughter, Cassie, very excited to go in a small group. She goes, whose small group am I in? And Kathy goes, Jana and Ryan. And then Cassie gets these big eyes.
Oh, crap.
And then Kathy says, Jan and Ryan are not doing a small group.
Oh.
Wow.
I thought of all the ways to tell her, babe.
That's good. I like that.
I didn't even know that happened
Yeah,
like that.
that happened just like that.
Oh.
Wait,
Oh.
you're not
Awesome.
doing a small group?
Are you finding out now? For the
Yeah.
first time?
No,
This is not
no,
good.
no,
I
no.
thought Ryan and Jana were taking Cassie, and the whole group of great freshman girls are going to go I don't understand. What? Hi.
Okay, let's go back to
What
Cathy.
kind of control do you have
Kathy,
here,
I'm
high
so
school
sorry
pastor?
that Janet is stealing your kids.
Yeah.
I
I am
know.
sorry.
For my
yes.
rogue small group outside of the system.
Are
Yes,
you running the
apparently.
high school
Thank
ministry,
you.
Josh? Come on.
Yeah, how do
Hey,
you not know this?
But here's what
I
Cathy
give
and I talked
special
about
care
this
to
morning.
certain kids, and I'm shocked.
We said, you know
I
that.
have a list of who you not to give special care to anymore.
I'm in.
I want to
that-
know who it is.
No.
No,
Can you
we
write it
can't.
down
We
just
can't.
so I can see down here?
Just
I won't
the
say
initials.
anything.
Don't, baby.
Just the
No. So what we talked about.
Would I
is-
even know him?
Would you shut up, dude?
Matt, just
Seriously.
Twitter something right now.
Yeah.
Go retweet one of
Make
your
up an affirmation
affirmations.
about
I
yourself.
can't. I don't have my phone.
That's the thing. Well,
All right, continue. Continue.
I said, here's really the ugly side of youth ministry.
Yeah.
There is some ugly, hurtful side of youth ministry, and it may have something to do with one of the other girls in the group. It may have nothing to do with Cathy, but you play that game anyway. Like, kids don't like me, or I'm not as cool as so and so, or those
I hate
already
that.
come in, and then you get a little slice. And Cathy texts her back and says, "Well, I want to hear about it." And she said, "I will." And this is what I love about Cathy. She says, "I'll send you an email later." And Cathy says, "Let's talk instead." I'd rather talk, which is the right thing to do. So, and it may not. I mean, it's funny. We could be spending all this time, and it has nothing to do with you, but it is one of those ugly sides of youth ministry. So.
Yeah, so I quit.
Sorry, no.
Quit, Josh.
No.
I'm done.
Oh,
That's
No.
that's the first. You've handled so many difficult situations over the years that
Not like face-to-face rejection.
was it?
text.
Oh, I'm so
Text to
sorry.
text.
But you
I
don't even
was
know it's-
nervous when Kathy walked in last night.
There might be some
All of a sudden, I just got really nervous.
Oh.
You did?
Really?
Just because Kathy feels. So it's like, this better be good. This better be good. I thought it was,
It
though.
was
I
good.
had a good time.
She's
I
the only
felt
one in the
like
crowd
crap.
that will still love you if it sucks.
That's
what
true.
are you talking
I know
about?
that, but
That's true.
still, it's just.
That's true. I'd
You
take
know,
2
that's
pages
funny.
of notes, but she'd love you nonstop.
I took a few notes.
Did you?
I did. I took a few notes.
Yeah, Cathy
how to
actually
make
had
it better?
she had I said, "Is there anything that could have been better?" And she said, "Well,"
Surprise.
she said it was really she said it was really, and she went through what everybody
Yeah,
did, and she
yeah.
told me all about it, and I agree with. She said, it's kind of a catch-22 because after Josh did the beginning part, they could have split up veterans and rookies,
Yeah.
and the veterans could have got out of there,
I would
a
really-
little
I
bit,
think-
little bit quicker.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, some of the veterans help support your points, and it builds
Yeah.
community there. So that's
Yeah.
where it's like
we try to use the veterans to speak into it.
It's hard
and-
to make that call because I think you want the newbies and the veterans together, but
Well, and we didn't feel the obligation to do everything in one night because we have 5 dinners coming up. So we're going to do a little training each
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
That's
that kind
cool.
of unpack a little more. But yeah, that's a great. Yeah.
all right. Ken Leslie is a PDYM community guy, and he says, "Simple question.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
Hey, I gotta go.
Okay, love you.
Sorry.
Thanks for the food.
Bye. Yes, thank
I
you for
love
the
you
sandwich.
too.
Sorry your teeth took us away
Oh.
from having lunch together.
I know.
Sorry about your crowns.
Lunch together.
Yeah.
Oh,
Now I wanna hear
goodness.
Jana.
So
Was that a
gross.
bit?
I'm
Do
still,
grandparents
I still,
still
can't
have
believe
sex?
a grandparent.
Oh.
Bye, Kath.
I can't believe that
Let's not talk about it.
we didn't talk about Matt's opening comment that we're going to put in the podcast about
French
Jana.
kissing somebody?
No,
In the
that'll
round this
just be a
table?
that's going to be a funny blooper, fun moment that wasn't supposed to be recorded, but you could care less about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Who else would you want a French kiss around this table?
Who? I've never met someone I wouldn't. Just kidding.
Oh, sorry.
Ken says, what is your view of students bringing iPods, cell phones, gaming devices on trips? Many parents seem to want their kids to have a cell phone, but the texting is nonstop. Part of the concept of most of my trips is to get the kids to unplug from normal daily life and connect with other students.
Because texting's not connecting. That was
But
good.
I
You tried to hold that one back
It's
too.
connecting. It's good. It's
That was
virtual.
2 laughs you
Virtual's
tried to
real.
hold back today. That was good.
We've done it both ways. We've taken everything away and we've let some go.
Yeah.
There's benefits, and I think you got to value what you want to value.
Yeah.
Well, I think if it's like a discipleship retreat and you're trying to teach on, silence or
Yeah,
you know.
absolutely. Getting away from it all, reevaluating,
Yeah.
meditating, all that. Yeah, you can't do that with constant interruptions.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, we have for years. Matt used to get in so much trouble from kids because I would say we had a bit. This was the thing we would do. We would tell kids, "Hey, if you want to try to sneak an iPod on, or
No, it was like a Walkman and
Walkman.
a Discman
Yeah, it was
at the
before-
time. It was,
it was-
not iPod.
I remember the first time we got. Well, tell them.
Well, so we would say, you're welcome to, but here, we would tell parents this. We would say, but here's the deal. If we find them, we have this bit that we do where we destroy them. So
That'd be a program part.
yeah,
part of
we put it part of our
Here's
program.
an
So
iPod.
our encouragement to you
Put it in
is
the water.
don't even try because we'll find it.
Right.
And
And they
then-
always come out. They do.
And then there
And it
will
was
always be
back
a
when they were
couple-
like $30 for a Walkman.
But
and I remember the first time.
we also gave kids the opportunity before you go to camp.
Yeah,
Before
put
you go
it
to
in the
camp,
bin.
here we'll keep it here at the church.
We'll
Right.
collect them
We'll
for
put it
you.
away, put your
Good, that's
name on
good.
it, the
You'll
whole bit.
forget about
'Cause you
it,
think
I'll
to yourself,
keep it.
oh, when I
We'll
was
lose
packing,
them.
when I was packing, I read what not to bring, but I thought I would be a rebel. So we acknowledge, hey, you're a rebel. But now,
Yeah.
or you forgot, or your mom lost the list, or whatever. Your little brother threw your Walkman in there. But now that you have it here, just give it to us. We'll put it away safely.
Or
But
we will break it. You
if
let
it
them know.
takes,
We will
if it
destroy
happens,
it.
Yeah.
and we turned it into a fine. We didn't. I mean, most of them we just confiscated, but every
Well, you
once in a
could
while,
do like a will it blend and throw in a phone, even if it's another
well,
phone. you
Matt
could
would
little
destroy
Oh,
it.
we,
You would,
we
like,
would bring a
step on
sledgehammer
'em and- yeah.
and break it. Yeah, Pat Ritz once tried to tackle me. This guy tried to,
that's
after we broke his thing, he tried to tackle me in front of everybody, which was the worst mistake he ever made in his life. Because every sophomore has a neck that you could grab and just squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember the first time we got an iPod, and I was like, I don't think we can break
Yeah.
this.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
no, that's
Yeah.
when you.
I would
Zune.
I would
Yeah.
default on taking stuff away and not letting them.
That was
Zune.
good.
Thank you.
I would default on not letting them have that stuff there.
Yeah.
That's usually the best way. Just
Even
make sure you
phone,
enforce it.
even phone for all those conniptioning mothers
Yeah,
that
like
have to
at
get a hold
camp,
of their.
we say
that's the
don't
thing
bring a
is-
phone. If we find it, we'll keep it, and we'll confiscate it. But then you just have to make sure that your camp counselors will enforce it, that you will be willing to enforce
And
it.
that you have a phone for parents
we-
to access.
If we have that
Absolutely.
expectation too of communicating that ahead of time to parents also.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
we've done great, I think, much better job of texting back home, like using text signal or simply text or whatever, and communicating with parents and letting them communicate with us, the leadership, as opposed to with their kid.
Yeah.
I can't believe I retweeted an affirmation.
All right. It comes full cycle back to Matt.
Ah.
Hey team, this is from Chad Jones. He says, I've been officially named the youth pastor for my church
That's
after
cool.
interning with them for over half a year. The old youth pastor never took attendance, and I've heard how important taking attendance can be, whether it is to see who has been missing the past couple of weeks or just see how many people you're averaging. Well, I was wondering, what do you believe is the best way to take attendance? I've seen people using touchscreen monitors, barcode scanners, even fingerprint scanners. What do you suggest?
Head count.
Well,
That's what we do.
taking attendance is the question becomes really, what are you going to do with it? I mean, if you're
Yeah.
if you're gonna follow, I mean, the barcode, the scanners, the fingerprint, we've learned this from all of our mistakes because we've tried everything. If you're not going to do anything with the information, why take it? Just get a head count. Get a head count so you guys see, you have a reference, and over years you go, okay, this Memorial Day weekend is always a low weekend or whatever.
Yeah.
3 weeks after Easter is high, or however you have numbers, you kind of see if our kids voting
look
with
for
their
trends,
feet,
all that, yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
But if you're not going to do anything with, if you find a kid's missed 2 weeks in a row and you're not going to call him, then don't waste your time trying to figure it out.
I think we start off with good intentions.
We're talking about our weekend program for us, which is our big program, because
Right. Yeah.
we have a different philosophy for small groups.
Right,
So
right. So it really comes down to, what do you want to do if they miss? If you're going to actually care for them and call them and write them a note, then figure out a way to do it. Figure out, for the most prehistoric way that we ever did it was really the best, because we've had
Yeah.
scanners and we've had touch screens, we've had everything our church has developed for our whole church, but the way that we did it, in the olden days, which worked great, if a kid filled out a card, he or she, the next week they came, their name would be on this list. And there was
Flip
this
through
sense
it.
of identity, and we alphabetized it, and kids would come to actually see if their name was on the list, and they would just pass it around the table and they'd circle their name.
they loved looking for their
You
name,
know,
Yeah.
which was so
Wildside
silly.
is bringing that back. If
Yeah.
you walk in right now, you'll find a 7th grade girls table,
Yeah.
and they've got announcements and pens and a roster. And so you
Yeah.
kind of check in now.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
But then the question I would ask Wildside is, what are you going to do with that information?
Right.
So,
That's tough about anything that you do. If you have a response card, are you going to follow up with the people that fill out a response card? If you take prayer requests, are you going to pray for them? If you take an attendance, what are you doing with that info? It's good on so many levels.
Matt prays for him. I was with Matt
Absolutely.
the other day.
We were both working independently in different booths at
Yes.
Fuddruckers.
And Matt had these cards. They were cards from his staff team that he wrote prayer requests down, and he was faithfully looking through
Oh,
them
that's awesome.
and mocking. Praying for them.
Oh,
All right,
you
we
should
have
mock me.
We
for
have
retweeting.
we did mock you for retweeting.
I know you should keep doing it.
We've got some good questions left, but we kind of hit our time threshold,
Yeah.
and we need to go. So anyway,
Awesome.
next week.
All right.
Is
Next
this our
week.
third week in a row?
Third week in a row. Are we ready to do it? Are we ready to do another one?
I think so. Well, we need to. Let's
go.
pull our calendars out.
I brought my calendar.
I brought my iPhone.
Must
Oh,
have.
wait.
Oh,
Oh,
wait.
wait. Only you guys have iPhones.
Oh,
Someday Josh is going to get high enough in the church where they think they give him an iPhone.
Not a chance.
you should just buy
I'm not
one.
sure I want to.
Yeah,
I think I might just want to stay in high school ministry.
as you should.
I seriously, I've
As you
thought
should.
for a long time.
Those were
I
the
would
best years of my
love-
life.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not kidding.
Yeah.
I think that's a newer realization for me. I always thought
best
I want
days
to
aren't
go.
ahead?
I want to.
Yeah.
Which you two French kids?
All right, just kidding. Hey, next week we're going to do the barbecue testing.
Nice.
Send your emails to sympodcast@gmail.com.
We'll
Buy
pick
this
the
number one
wiener.
best-selling book on Amazon.
Morethandodgeball.com. Sign up with our new Youth Ministry Conference site is up, youthministry.com/SYMC.
Yeah, come hang out with us.
Simply
Whoa.
Youth Ministry Conference.
Oh, that's gonna be in Chicago, right?
You'll be
Yes.
there, Matt. What do
Is
you-
it gonna be
don't-
during baseball season?
No.
Mm.
Well, maybe spring training. I don't know.
February, Chicago.
What season is
Spring
that?
training wouldn't be in
Basketball?
Freezing cold. Icicles will be
Basketball.
falling out. It's
Basketball?
All right,
I
we
don't
done?
really like
All
the
right.
Bulls now.
All right.
but
Oh,
they're-
Blessings,
I'm proud
blessings,
that you know
blessings.
it was the Bulls.
And the Pacers. Goodbye,
Always
everybody.